Hello, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm gonna be looking at my notes too, so bear with me as I multitask and whatnot. Expectations of a coding bootcamp. Are you ready? Let's do it. Okay, so expectations. Dun dun dun. I've gotten some questions on my channel, just generally speaking, about like coding boot camps. And so I was like, why not just tell you about what I think in regards to what you can expect. I think there's a common misconception that just because you go to a boot camp means that they're gonna give you a job, and that's not necessarily the case. So with that being said, here's kind of what I think that you should expect if you're entering into a boot camp, a coding boot camp, 2020 and beyond. Number one, don't expect them to teach you everything that you need to know. Yeah, I know, right? You're like, but I'm paying so much money, they need to teach me everything. Okay, there's really no way to learn everything. That's really not a thing. And even if someone like promised you that, I really would not take it seriously. So be very wary of coding boot camps that are like, we'll teach you everything, because that's not true. That no one can teach you everything that you need to know. Don't expect them to find you a job. So I know a lot of them are gonna promise that they're gonna find you employment, or some of them may even say, here's our percentage of coding bootcamp grads that get paid, and it's a really high percentage, and therefore you're thinking they were the ones that were responsible for the coding bootcamp graduates getting that position. And that's not necessarily the case. So don't go in expecting them to find you your first job. That is your responsibility ultimately. Don't get me wrong, there should be skills available to you so that you are able to find that first position for yourself. So there should very well be career services there helping you along the way and giving you advice and tips and all this other stuff, etc. However, it should ultimately be your responsibility to find that first position. And they may even have recruiters that they work with, and maybe different coding bootcamp alumni who may be able to help in that process. And what I mean is their jobs that they're at may be able to hire you on as a recent coding bootcamp grad, just because an alumni is there. So it could be that kind of relationship going on, but certainly don't expect them to ultimately find you a position. That's your job. One of the other thing is, don't expect just because there is coding bootcamp written all over your resume that means that you deserve a job. No. It does not ensure that you're getting a position. It is merely something that gives you more knowledge, that you're able to learn quickly on the job, that you're able to utilize the skills that you have and use it in different aspects of web development or software development or whatever the coding bootcamp was about. So don't expect that to automatically trigger employers to say, we gotta hire this person, because 9 times out of 10, it's kind of the opposite. So just be wary of that and just know that it may not work out that way for you. So you could put it on there and certainly use it as, put it on your resume as something that catapulted your career and kind of transferred your career, especially if you're a career transitioner. And what I mean is, like, have it on there, but also have hardcore evidence that you're able to build things and that you're able to take like a spec and make it turn into reality. So definitely have that skill set available, but don't think just because it says blah 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 coding bootcamp that everyone is gonna want it to know your name, because that's probably not gonna happen. The do's, the good stuff. So do take the time to really hone in on your skills and learn. So while you're at this coding bootcamp, do take that time. Use it as a benefit for yourself to really learn, to really make mistakes. Not saying that you can't make mistakes out in the real world. Of course, it certainly happens. Hello. I've done it, and I'm pretty sure several other people have done it as well, but it's important that you really get in there and start experimenting with different frameworks and such when you're on this coding bootcamp journey, because you're ultimately learning, and it's okay to fail and to not do well, or for it to not look right or whatever, but use this as an opportunity to really gain knowledge and to try to do the best you can. Yes, do take advantage of the community that is surrounded by you. So what do I mean by that? Basically, what I mean by that is there's other people in the coding bootcamp, okay? And listen, we're coming in an age where not everyone going to these coding boot camps are going to look the same. I had a video about diversity not too long ago, check it out. But what I mean by this is basically utilize the people that are in that coding boot camp. Ultimately, the people in this coding boot camp know what you're going through, because they're going through it as well. In addition to that, definitely take advantage of alumni that have been through the coding bootcamp. So I'm pretty sure at some point you're gonna be looking for a position. That's kind of what you're going to coding bootcamp for, right? So before you kind of get to that step of trying to find a job or whatever, maybe it would behoove you to find other people that are alumni of the coding bootcamp and kind of reach back and ask them kind of what their challenges were. If they had a chance to do it over, kind of what they would change, those sorts of things, to kind of get an idea of how you should be going about this process of being in a coding bootcamp. And hopefully it could ultimately help you out and also create that sense of community. So you never know, if you're constantly reaching out to people, alumni especially, and then also those people that are in your coding bootcamp, those people are ultimately gonna get jobs. So if it happens to where they get jobs before you get jobs, and their company happens to be hiring, and they're like, hey, I know such and such was really good at the coding bootcamp, we spent a lot of time working together and chit-chatting and learning and all these other things, they would be more inclined to say, hey, this is a good person, kind of as a recommendation kind of deal. But at the same time, it's just good to get to know the people that are around you that are experiencing the same, I can't talk today, that are experiencing the same things that you are. So anyways, that is all I have today, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you found some value in this. If you did, hit that like button. It will help me. So there you go. And I will see you in another one. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.